walk around, see how he stays with you.
Sometimes the hardest part about military service isn't anything that you experience while you're enlisted. It's what you experience when you come home and you try to readjust.
Coming back from my first deployment, I got called a baby killer going through the airport. I've lost a lot of friends to suicide, and I've almost been a statistic of the 22 twice.
Partnering Mustangs with veterans, I mean, we're both screwed over by the government that said they were going to take care of us. And we're both going through a lot of traumatic struggles.
I connect with horses. I do believe they're like us. Just their presence could be so healing. Whether it's trauma, special needs kids that don't learn the same way, people who are distrusting, like incarcerated people, how they can soften and change and have a new hope for life.
I'm Alicia, and I'm the founder of Freedom Reigns. One of my focuses is how horses help people heal various traumas and issues. Now I'm taking it on the road.
Alicia?
Alicia,
Nice to meet you.
So glad to be here. Let's meet the horses.
I'm venturing out across America to find more stories of where horses are making the difference in people's lives.
Today I'm in Asheville, North Carolina, and I'm looking forward to meeting Jake LaRue.
Jake got his start working with Shannon, who is the founder and president of Horse Sense of the Carolinas, an organization that specializes in equine-assisted therapy to help trauma survivors. A Marine Corps veteran himself, Jake was so inspired by how horses helped him through his own journey that he created Man with a Horse, which focuses on bringing veterans and wild Mustangs together for healing.
I'm really excited to see his program.
Hey,
Hi,
Jake?
that's me. Alicia?
Alicia,
Nice to meet you.
So glad to be here.
The horses are up at the top of the hill.
Okay.
So if you hop in the truck, I'll give you a ride up.
Sounds great.
It's beautiful. I love all the trees and the green.
I spend just about every day here.
Oh, that's nice. It's a pretty place to stay.
It is.
So I spend time here. Oh, who are these cuties?
Oh, my donkeys.
Oh, they're adorable. Okay. Let's meet the horses. So these are
the kids.
these are the kids. These are part of your.
Yep, they all work with the program.
So who do we have here?
We've got Blackjack here. He's my heart horse. I've had him since 2018. And then we've got Bud, has the question mark on his head.
Okay, question mark, Bud.
Behind him, his sister Matilda.
Matilda.
And this big handsome fella here, his name is Tacola.
Tacola.
And he's a Belgian.
It's beautiful and big.
Yes, he is.
So what are we doing today? I'm excited to see your program.
We've got a couple of veterans coming out today. Let's work on some haltering. We're using rope halters today instead of the nylon halters because the whole process with putting them on is part of the connection part with the horses.
What am I going to have?
Hey, boy.
We want to make sure in everything that we do with the horses, they have choice. They can engage as much as they want to or as little as they want to.
Thanks, buddy. So, obviously, he's not having a problem with connecting with me today.
You've learned so much about yourself through the horses.
I learned what I look like to the rest of the world was a huge one for me, finding out that how I was presenting, you know, the kind of energy that I was carrying when I walked into a room. I was one of those people that my presence was not necessarily a good thing. My body language, my manner of speech, my very direct feet forward, eyes forward level of communication was coming off to some people as being aggressive and unwelcoming. So I was playing with a horse, Honor, and I was asking him to do a circle pattern for me at a trot, and he kept stopping and walking, kept stopping and walking. What am I doing here? I'm going through all the techniques exactly like they're supposed to. And the instructor at the clinic said, you know, you need to drop that energy. You're carrying around a lot of energy, and you're making a request, and he's trying to follow through with what you're asking him, but that energy never goes away, that pressure never drops. And I'm really focused on how do I let this energy go. Yeah, like the horses do. How do I do like they do? And when I asked Honor to go on a pattern and I dropped that energy, he stayed with the trot and kept going. And it floored me.
A lot of self-awareness.
Yeah.
That's what you're learning through working with these horses too.
And I think that was my major aha moment, and everything after that started to fall into perspective a little better.
And now when I put the halter on him, I'm gonna reach over his neck with my right hand, open the halter, and now I wanna see whether he's gonna cooperate with me or just comply. So I'm gonna ask him to give me his nose, and he does. So I would call that cooperation.
So that's what we were working through this morning, was asking the horse to connect with us and to engage with us. And then in the act of haltering, looking for those little cues and signs from the horse, whether it was a matter of compliance, like, all right, put the rope on me, or if it's a matter of, okay, hey, we're gonna do something together. And we got a little bit of experience in watching both sides of the coin happen this morning.
And I see Bud's down there giving Darren a bit of a workout. So let's see if we can work something out with him. Hey, Bud. This is what it looks like when he says no.
Well, you were talking about like what it's like the transition from service, back. For those not so experienced, what are those difficulties that they're dealing with? Is it the just not wanting to talk about things, the isolation?
The isolation is one thing. You've got all the people you've been living with 24/7 that aren't with you anymore, and you've got to go out and make new networks, make new friends. There's the job situation. There's usually financial situation. Transitioning is hard. Trying to come up with something else to do for your life. Some people don't come out of a job where they can translate into a civilian job. I hadn't really felt complete in my life. Been running around rudderless for most of my life since I got out of the service. And it gave me an opportunity to do something to give back to my tribe and to share the impact that they had in my life with other veterans. And I don't think I'd be happy doing anything else.
Well, it sounds like it was your calling.
Definitely.
You knew it as soon as you felt it.
I did.
Remember, proximity and pressure are two different things, so come back off a little bit, because the request needs to be made for him to come say it's okay.
Yeah. Let's go. Come here, bud. Come on. Come on. Yeah.
Nice.
Every time you go on a deployment, and I've had 2, you come back a different person each time. In September 2015, I got diagnosed finally with PTSD. My son was really young, and me and my wife co-slept with him. And I woke up one morning at like 2 o'clock in the morning, and I was straight on punching my pillow, and my son was right beside of me. And that was my oh shit moment. I mean, something's really wrong. I felt like I never really fit in. It was a rough transition. I missed the camaraderie and the closeness.
There you go. And now go for the halter.
How, when you're in service, there's so much trust with your fellow group, and how difficult it is then too when you get back.
Oh man.
How do you deal with the fact that you don't have those people to lean on and to support you?
I'm a Marine Corps veteran, and a Marine Corps fights in a fire team. There's a 4-man team, and you always trust that this person, and this person are going to do their job. And I don't have to look over here because I know you've got me. And I don't see so much of that going on in any capacity in the civilian world. There's a lack of focus, a lack of direction, and trying to find that can be really difficult when you come home.
Yeah, I can see that.
The veterans that I've introduced to Mustangs, when they've met them, they're like, I can see that trauma bond when I connect with them. I can see what they've been through. They're taken out of an environment that they're used to, their family bands, their groups that they've been running with, and that they've been experiencing life with, and they're put in a situation where now they're told, this isn't going to work anymore for you. Your lifestyle is over. You now have to do it this way. We have new rules, we have new standards, we have new behavior that you have to fall into. And if you don't, it's not going to work out well for you. Veterans go through the same thing. So when we can connect the veterans with the Mustangs, they're coming into it with a similar background, a similar experience. And then we have the opportunity to put the two of them together for mutual growth and learning and healing and adaptation. You can't help but have some improvements in your life when you spend time with horses.
Oh yeah, and Mustangs losing their freedom and,
A lot of the veterans, what they're really looking for is something, we need a new cause. We need something to be of service. We need something to get us involved and to do something.
There you go, you got it. So tall. And there he is. Here's my nose.
veterans in general are always like wound up like really tight. It's hard for us to like relax because we always have like the situational awareness going on. There's a lot of stuff involved that people don't really know about and we don't talk about. So being around the horses, you're kind of just letting go a lot, and it's really nice to be able just to have that partnership between horses and humans.
Come back next to him, give him a little room in the rope, and when you step off, just ask him to come with you, like so. Because you're right in front of him, and you're kind of turning that into a game of tug of war, and I promise you're going to lose.
The veterans, they're learning about some basic horsemanship skills, but they're learning about it in the context of partnering with the horse.
It was wonderful to watch.
This place has brought me out of a very dark place in my life. And I mean, I owe it all to Jake and the horses.
Now I'm heading over to Horse Sense. Shannon's place is where Jake actually started, and she does equine therapy programs. And so I'm looking forward to learning about her. So Shannon, tell me about your programs here.
Well, we do equine-assisted psychotherapy, counseling with horses. Depression, anxiety, trauma, PTSD, substance abuse, communication issues. So a lot of our veterans, a lot of our trafficking survivors, really complex trauma, talking about it can be really re-traumatizing. So working out here in this natural environment with beings that don't speak language either, right? They have their own body language, but they don't care what we say. They care about how we feel. They care about how we show up and what we do.
So, and the horses, you said they've had their own traumas, huh? And,
Right.
you know,
It's mutual healing, right? So they're both working together to help each other. That collaborative side-by-side growth and development is just, it's the best.
well, I
It's the
love,
best.
I mean, after meeting Jake this morning and knowing he got his start with
Yeah.
you, which was so amazing story, I think both of you guys look at the horse or treat the horse so honorably, is that they are equal.
Yes.
And I loved, he said that this morning, and I hear you saying the same thing, and that's wonderful.
Yeah.
That treatment of.
Yep. Not a beast of burden, a partner. Partner in the journey. A lot of people think that we just like stand in the aura of the horse and be healed. And there are a lot of programs that do stuff like that. We are a lot more intentional and like science-based around what we're doing. The lower in the brain you are, the less likely you are to be able to think and process the traumatic experiences that may have happened to you. We are paying attention to when we're doing this work is where in the brain is the client. So regulation is about rhythmic, patterned, repetitive movement. So that would be like brain stem and diencephalon. And these are just, we call them brain bins for no other good reason than, you know, like this is one of those weighted blankets. So it may be that we've had clients that are horseback that have one of these draped over their legs. They may have it draped over their back because they're unaware of their own body, because being aware of their body didn't help them. Right? And so now they're cut off from their body and they have no idea,
So you
right?
start there by.
Right. So we're going to regulate the lower regions of the brain first, and then we're going to get into the limbic system. Limbic is the relationship part. We could get rhythmic, pattern, repetitive sensory input in a rocking chair, but you can't have a relationship with a rocking chair. You can have a relationship with a horse. We've got our rhythmic, pattern, repetitive cat coming to join us.
Good.
All of this is about helping people become more regulated. Like, how do you be appropriate to the moment, no matter what the moment calls for? A lot of our veterans or our trauma survivors come in like, I don't want to be all kumbaya. I don't want to be all frou-frou, right? And I'm like, I don't want you to be that either. But if you're acting and feeling like you're going to have to run when you're sitting on the couch with your kids watching a movie, then that's wrong. I've been in the field for like 25 years or so. This curriculum, Running with Mustangs, we wrote specifically on working with incarcerated and gang-involved youth. And, you know, horses don't care how much your tennis shoes cost or what offense you committed to get locked up or what gang you're in. They just want to know who you are right now. The horses and the humans are more than the terrible things that happen to them. We've got the
These guys.
working herd in. Oh my gosh, look at those ears. This is Reno. He's a Bureau of Land Management Mustang.
Hi, Reno.
And he came to us after being adopted in Florida. And that's Rohan.
Hi, Rohan.
So Rohan is probably, well, he's not the newest in this herd, but he's one of the newer ones. Jewel, it has one eye. She ended up with just, she has one eye. She came to us with one eye. So we get to have conversations with clients who are differently abled, right? So we have Hansel, and we have Derek, and then we have a mini donk over here. His name is Bruiser.
Are these part of your program too?
Oh
these
yeah,
things? Okay.
absolutely, absolutely.
Especially
So
people who might be intimidated by the big one. You know,
Yep.
that's what I find is
sometimes it's folks that are intimidated by the big ones, like kiddos.
Yeah.
Sometimes like the really big horses are too much.
Hello, cutie.
We take them to the VA, our local VA hospital, for walkarounds.
Oh, that's awesome.
They go for visits. They go to schools.
beautiful face and mane. Wow. So cute. Jake, it's been an amazing day. I loved watching what your program was this morning with the veterans and just getting to know you and the good work you're doing.
Being an equine specialist is the best thing I've ever done in my life. Yeah, I get choked up even answering that. And I don't mind, because even being Marine Corps veteran, I learned from horses how I can let my emotions out when they come up. So I don't mind if there's a little bit of this going on. It happens. Yeah, it was completely life-changing to not only to get involved with horses, but then to be able to find a way that I could partner with horses and work with horses for the benefit of other people.
So nice. I look forward to